The public announcement. Is that what they said?
Are you calling the meeting to order?
Calling the meeting order.
This is a regular meeting of the Fairhaven Planning Board. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. At the time of the board reorganization in January of this past year, the board adopted its regular meeting schedule for the year. Notice of the schedule was sent to and published in the Asbury Park Press on February 2nd, 2022, and the Two River Times on February 3rd, 2022. That notice was also posted on the bulletin board in City Hall and has remained continuously posted there as required by the statute. A copy of the notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. The copy of the notice has also been sent to such members of the public as have requested such information in accordance with the statute. Adequate notice having been given, the board secretary is directed to include that statement in the minutes of this meeting.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Waterline.
Here.
Ms. Bush.
Here.
Ms. Koch.
Here.
Mr. Knoll.
Here.
Mr. Viola.
Here.
Mr. Rolfe. Mr. Nitka. Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Olson. Ms. Quigley.
Here.
All right. Salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim, why don't you move over one?
Come on in.
Take your names first.
I haven't done the oath yet this year. Okay. You might not need to, right? It's not every year. Right? I did last year. But you did last year? Okay, then that's fine. Yeah, okay. Yes, please.
If we could, I'd like to administer the oath. I ask those individuals take the oath, please stand. We'll do this all together and raise your. I don't think you're taking an oath this.
I was sent one, so I don't know. Sandy, did
Oh,
I need to
okay.
take?
All
I was reappointed, so yes.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
I'm going to ask you to state your name in the appropriate place, and then you'll all have a different title for the very end as to what member you are. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully
impartially, and justly perform
and justly perform
the duties of
the duties of
Planning board class
planning
four.
board class
Class
four
one
member,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so affirmed or so help me God.
so
Help me
help me
God.
God.
Thank you. If you would sign your oath just above your names, I will conform them. If you bring them back, I'll make sure that
Do you have a copy by any chance? I just have it on my iPad.
I do.
we will get one.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay, so next is going to be nominations and elections of the chair. Do you have any nominations?
Anybody would like to be chair?
I'll chair it if you guys want. I haven't been on the board before, so you'll have to work with me, but if that's
Are
something.
you a full member or alternate?
Brand new, so I have no
Class
idea if I
four
can or
member.
can't, but
So you're not an alternate.
if,
Have any of the people who are not here tonight expressed interest in chair?
I mean, I thought Fred was possibly going to be
Yeah, that's what
taking
I was
over,
thinking too,
but
yeah.
we understand he changed jobs, and I don't think he could commit.
I think his email was to the effect that while he would have the ability to do vice chair, if that was so, if he was so nominated, he did not feel comfortable taking full responsibilities of the chair.
Jim, how are you?
I'm, at the moment, I'm gonna have to pass on it. I don't think I can handle it, to be honest.
Well, I have one suggestion. Pat Quigley was on the zoning board for how long?
About 5 years.
About 5 years. And Pat is also a practicing attorney. Right now, she's the alternate, which means that precludes her from being the chair. But I was thinking that if, you know, if one of you did not want to stand up and do it, that perhaps, well, you said Fred would be vice chair, that perhaps somebody would want to switch places with the alternate. And then,
I don't think we have the ability, the appointment is not ours, the appointment is the mayor's appointment as to who's.
right. So he would make the change if someone was willing to make the change.
Correct.
So that is something to think about.
Well, having been used to attending all of the zoning board meetings, it would be something that I think I would be with, sort of. Even though it's a different
I'm sorry.
department. Having attended all of the zoning board meetings, I think it would be something that would
Well,
be.
primarily, the chair has several functions. Number one, they discuss with the board secretary and the board in general, the setting of the agenda.
Mhm.
So if there's going to be something, so occasionally there's a question, yes, should we put something on, should we not put something on? Sometimes there's a scheduling issue, should we do those? And usually your role there is prior to the meeting. Your role at the meeting primarily is to move the meeting along so that we can conduct the business of the planning board. Occasionally, if there are issues, you will find that I will reach out to you to discuss those issues, to see how they want to be handled, whether we want to bring those to the board meeting, whether we're going to need an executive session. Again, it's more along the lines of agenda setting. Other than that, and moving the meeting along, you had but one vote, just like other members. So it's probably not that much different what your experience has been on the zoning board of adjustment.
In order to make that happen, we're saying it'd have to be a member spot, a class 4 for a
Yes, the alternate can't be.
alternate. Right.
And if Fred's starting a new job, he's not here to talk about
Right.
it, but perhaps we could put this off till the next meeting.
You could. We can go
And
to.
the mayor could talk to Fred to see if he would be willing to do that.
And then perhaps my colleague could be the vice chair and we could learn the process together.
Whatever you guys need, I'm here to help them.
I think that's a
whatever
great
I was also
idea.
gonna vote for vice chair.
Oh, you,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was
No,
gonna say, Anthony,
you got there, yeah.
What about, Mike Nicka, he had no desire to,
I heard his name get thrown around, but I haven't heard it from him myself. I mean, his name was thrown around to be the chair.
that's what
I
I
think we
mean,
should
that's
ask
what I
Mike,
thought,
and
yeah.
I think it's
Well, he's
about,
been
and by the way,
on-
this is nothing against
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
Like, this
right.
is
He's
just
just
talking
a-
through
yeah.
experience.
Longest, people have been on the
Sure,
board the
yeah.
longest.
Without question.
And Mike, I thought in his kind of, in the last meeting, I thought Mike showed me something I thought that was very chair-like.
I
So,
thought
Right.
so too,
yeah,
yeah.
so,
Well, we
So-
can talk to him.
Yeah, so then I'll make a motion to table the nomination of for the election of the chair and vice chair until next meeting.
works.
And it's just a vote on that. All in favor, voice vote.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion to table carries.
Next is appointment of the board secretary. We have to make a motion, I'm assuming.
Yes, make a motion to appoint Ms. Papa as board secretary, if that's your desire.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to appoint Ms. Papa as board secretary.
A second?
Mr. Borderline?
Yes.
Ms. Bush?
Yes,
Ms. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Newell?
Yes.
Mr. Gale?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
And Ms. Quigley?
Yes. Should I be voting?
We've got
As an
you,
alternate?
we've got you, you can vote. It's gonna be
You
carried.
took your oath.
Well, she's bringing up a point, a very fine point that she would not normally be voting if we had adequate members. We're down a few members, so our alternate does sit in this meeting, so we can
Thank you.
vote.
Next would be the appointment of board attorney, but I see we added this number 7 line for executive session. So I guess we're waiting on that conversation.
I understand there's been a request to have that an executive session.
Okay.
So if we want to go on to, I can give you the status of engineer if you would like. I'll tell you what, why don't we hold that off for executive session also?
Agreed.
So I'll discuss that at the top of the executive session with your permission. So you're down to appointment of board planner.
Appointment of board planner, is there a motion to appoint any particular planner at the moment?
I would motion to appoint Hiram Gruel.
Any other motions? Any other planners?
Who's our present planner? See me?
Yeah, we switched, right?
Yes, we switched last year, I believe.
Okay.
So the motion is for hire Gruel.
Unless someone wants to motion CME.
Yeah. Hearing none, seeing none. We'll take a vote.
Okay.
Just sorry, just wanted clarity. Hiram rule, I'm just going back to my notes from earlier this year. That was when we were discussing. All this is renewed now, right? ARH, hire, CCH, these are all not necessarily in place in other parts of the government.
They're not being used anymore.
Okay, all right.
The only way CME, I believe, has the tree expert that we appointed.
May I ask what the term of appointment for CME was? Sandy, do we know?
A year from whenever they were brought in. It's funny, I'm not sure.
That was later.
I was gonna say they were brought in later.
Yeah.
so, Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of debate about this question, and
Yeah.
it sort of surprises me that it was. Yeah, just so, and I can't remember the nature of all the debate, but I remember it's quite deep.
I remember, I mean, I wrote pros and cons, like you might, general here. I do remember hire as a affordable housing specialist. I think that's a pro.
Yes.
Can we get that?
Can we bring that into executive session as well?
Sure can.
Okay.
Okay.
I recommend we do that.
We might need some background research to see how long their contract is too.
Yeah.
Because if their contract goes on until, inside the year, then it's a moot point.
Yep.
Well, I don't know, can we break a contract if we contract?
I'm
with
sure
them?
there's a termination language in that. Before you do that, I want to have some discussion.
Well, figure out what that is. Yeah. All right, so now we're up to the approval of the meeting dates for 2023. Everybody, you guys all have a handout? Yep. Okay. I mean, they're all the third Tuesday of the month. I don't see any issues. I flipped through my calendar. But
I'm gonna throw one out there, the December 19th meeting. I know that some schools have break over that, starting like the week before Christmas. 2 weeks kind of overlapping Christmas. So if you wanted to get away from that the week earlier, 12/12 might be my suggestion on that. Same thing that we did the month before to get away from Thanksgiving.
I would agree with that, yeah.
We need to make a motion to change that date or just?
Sure. Make a motion to change that.
Okay,
date.
motion to change December meeting date from 12/19 to 12/12/2023.
Somebody second?
Changing the November date too, or just the December?
I think it was just in December.
Well,
Unless we're gonna change it in November.
based on this, weren't we already agreeing to change it to November 15th?
I think it has November 21st. Yeah, the one that came out was November 21st on it.
The
Well,
one
this-
that I put on the wall, so November 15th was discussed at the last meeting, and I was supposed to check whether it was available, and it is.
Okay.
So it's Wednesday, November 15th versus Tuesday. The Tuesday is not available. And so you're changing, just so I'm clear, December 19th is gonna change to December 12th.
Correct.
Okay,
And in November, right?
And
that's up to,
what was the story? And we can't go November 14th on a Tuesday because that's the council meeting.
there's,
Like, why are we switching to a Wednesday?
there's another meeting scheduled that uses the Zoom platform. I think it's recreation.
Recreation is, it might be on the 14th because the 7th is election day, and that's normally when it would be.
So right now you're at the 21st. You want to move to the 15th?
The recreation meeting is
it's
the
alright.
14th of November. And I checked with DJ. So that's why we put the 15th out, because the green team meets on the 15th, but they don't use the Zoom platform. They have their own.
I'm not opposed to the 15th. Everybody else works with everybody else.
Restate my
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to change the November 21st meeting date to November 15th and the December 19th meeting date to December 12th, all in the year of 2023.
A second.
Any other changes?
I'm sorry.
Any other changes? Okay, so that's it. With the amendment to December 12th, November 15th. Take a roll.
Mr. Bordelon?
Yes.
Ms. Bush?
Yes.
Mrs. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Viola?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
And Ms. Quigley?
Yes.
Official newspaper.
Yep, next up, approval of the official newspapers. It looks like we have a resolution to have our 3 newspapers be the Asbury Park Press Daily, Star Ledger Daily, and the 2 River Times Weekly. Can I get an approval? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Sandy?
Mr. Bordelon?
Yes.
Ms. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Viola?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
And Ms. Quigley?
Yes.
All right, so next up is old business. It's the conditional approval for Monmouth County Planning Board in regards to 626 River Road. Mr. Kovacs, you were going to
Yes,
give us a little insight.
I'm not going to be able to speak directly to the issues that were raised by the county planning board as to the technical aspects of what's happening. We did, however, have some contact with the special master to determine what the status of that of the approvals were. Apparently, the applicant's counsel had reached out to the special master and said, you know, I'm having some difficulty finding out where we are. After some back and forth, we did get a status of resolution of compliance from Hiram and Gould. That information was shared with the special master, and I'm going to make sure that that status of resolution compliance, rather than burden us with this at this point in time, there's still a number of things that basically M&M has yet to do. From everything from modifications on the drawings that we talked about and requested. I don't think that there is any issue from M&M that they're not going to do them. They just haven't done those. And I think there seems to be some disconnect as to the people who are physically revising drawings, such as you may recall carrying the cornice around the windows. Well, those details are not in the plans as yet. There's still some issues with the county with regard to the designation of the easement and some additional language that can be found on the documents that the county planning board committee is saying, we're not really sure what that's referencing. Please define this, and asking for some refinement. There's still a couple of other minor issues with regard to design drawings. Once those get done, then there's still an issue of the applicant posting appropriate performance guarantees. As you know, those are the monies that the applicant posts to make sure that the improvements that qualify for performance guarantees are taken, and if not, there's a fund of money to address those. So there's still some detailed work. It's chugging along. The train has not stopped, but it is certainly not at the station yet. Hopefully, with this latest resolution of compliance, we'll get some information back to the applicant. But I would like to have the board see where you are in terms of the status of the resolution of compliance. Normally, we would not be sharing all that detail with the board, not that you're not entitled to see it, but usually it's kind of fairly minor things. It only takes a couple of weeks. This is taking a little bit longer, and I think it's in your interest to know where we are concerning the status. You'll see a laundry list of about 6 or 7 pages. Don't get overwhelmed. Most of them are comply, but they're giving you a status that's non-compliant at this point in time, so they'll give you a status of where they are with this status. And as I say, rather than try to burden that this evening, it might be easier just to review, and you'll see you can probably digest that relatively quickly. When we have some access to our engineer, maybe as to the detail work that the county is talking about as to what they want to see, where that would impact, we'll ask for that to be done at that time. That's the status on that.
So we're tabling it, the ball's not in our court at the moment until we get further information, correct?
Yeah, we don't really have anything to do at this point in time. I've been in contact directly with our special consultant with regard to the fair share housing. They reached out to the master on coordinating, and I'm going to have another meeting with that individual later this week. And hopefully I'll be able to give you a status at that time.
Anybody got any questions on that? No questions, no concerns. All right, moving along. New business, looks like there is no new business. Administrative items, approval of the meeting minutes from December 13th. If everybody has a copy, you can take a peek at it.
And again, I just remind only those individuals who participated in that meeting should be voting on that.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I second it.
Okay.
Ms. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Paolo?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Approved. We'll open up to public comment and then we can go into executive session.
Sure. We're gonna open up for public comment. If anybody would like to comment, but looks like there is no comments from the public. All right.
We do have an executive session. I can frame the motion if you'd like.
Sure, please.
There is an application to go into closed executive session. As you know, that's a session in which the board can meet in private to the exclusion of the public to discuss only limited matters. In this instance, there is a request to discuss the board attorney's contract. There is an issue to discuss, to bring you up to speed as to the board engineer's contract, which I can take the lead on. And I guess if there are issues with regard to the planner, that would be an appropriate place to discuss those also. All of these, because they're hiring professionals, are eligible to be discussed in closed private session. So with that motion, I expect us to be in probably an hour, tops.
Okay.
Tops. I don't anticipate, well, there will be public action. Perhaps there will be public action taken after that, if anyone wants to hang around for that. May I ask for that motion? Second?
I'll make the motion to go into public or executive session.
The second,
Mr. Borderline?
yes.
Ms. Bush?
Yes.
Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Paolo?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Olson?
Yes.
And Ms. Quigley?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We're going to go to close executive session at this point.
Yeah. Thanks.
He does. Hello.
Happy to hear about.
Same to you.
How
are you?
Yes.
It's in the executive.
We're out. Out of executive session back into the public.
Okay.
We came back in at 8:30. So we are going to, currently, we're gonna table the Board of Engineer because we're waiting on the rider, the contract, so on and so forth. And we'd also like to table the appointment of Board Attorney. We'll discuss, but we were just looking for some, the board's looking for some different information in regards to contract and billing, that's all. So we're gonna table that.
Is there any information I can provide to you for that, or?
Yeah, I was actually gonna reach out to you afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have to debate it, you know, in front of everybody. So we're tabling the board attorney, we're tabling the board engineer. In regards to the appointment of a board planner, would somebody like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Hiram Grill as the board planner for 2023.
I second.
Anybody have any comments? You want to discuss it, or are we just moving right to a vote? Sounds like a vote, Sandy.
Okay. Mr. Borderline?
Yes.
Ms. Bush?
Yes.
Ms. Koch?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Paolo?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Olson,
Yes.
Ms. Quigley.
Abstain.
Motion passes. Motion passes.
Will you reach out to those, Sandy? Do you send them notification?
So you had your public comment.
So we don't have to every other.
And maybe Teresa can guide you.
I will ask
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I believe that's it. Does anybody else have anything? Make a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
By voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
This is so much nicer.